So we are live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. I have Adria back with us, but I also have Miss Radhika with us also today. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Adria, and let's make this happen.
All right, welcome guys. It is January 18th, Thursday, of course, and we are back as we are every Thursday, giving you some tidbits and jewels in regards to wholesaling and flipping houses. As I just stated, we have Miss Radhika with us. Welcome back, Radhika.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Absolutely, we're glad you're here. The way it works, guys, if you're new, we're live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. You post your questions. I ask the questions, Ty, and luckily this week we have Miss Radhika. One of the two will answer your questions. As always, try to tell me your location and give me a name other than your screen name, because oftentimes I have difficulty pronouncing them. And sometimes the questions are better suited to you if we have your location. I do skip around, so don't come for me today. Seriously, guys, I skip around. I try to get to everyone's question. I don't typically read the repeat questions. So this is being filmed or recorded live right now, but it will be available on YouTube pretty much as soon as we get done. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and get ready to get started. As always, I like to go around giving shouts out to our subscribers who are on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Oh, yeah, and tag a friend, bring somebody along. And in the comments section, let me know if you got a phone call from Ty and me today. I want to see how that worked out, what you thought about it. Give us some feedback.
Oh, I hadn't sent it out yet.
Are you serious?
I'm going to send it. I wanted to send it out when it started. I hadn't sent it out yet.
Oh, wow. Well, scratch that. Some of you may get a phone call, I guess. Let me know what you think about it.
It's going out now. It's going out now.
Okay, I'm a little premature on that, I guess. Let's see here. I see you guys on Instagram. Hey, waving at you guys. And let's see here. Nashville is in the house. That's Mr. James. We have Pennsylvania, Orlando, Clifton, and Birmingham. Lionel, ain't nobody get a phone call. Obviously, no need to be jealous. Hello from VA. What's up, pimpin'? Darnell, Patton, Marquise, Denver, Colorado. And you guys on YouTube, there is a like button. Make sure you like. And I think you can like and love on Facebook as well. And Instagram, heart it. All right. So if you guys are ready, I'm ready. Ready to do this? No?
Yeah.
Hello?
Not yet. Hold on.
Nobody's talking to me, guys. So
Go ahead, cause she can start answering the question. Go ahead. Yeah, you know.
Me and Radhika got this. We just gonna sweet tie to the wayside. Radhika, Happy New Year.
Yeah. Hello.
How's everything going? Anything new? We decided here we're not doing resolutions, we're doing solutions. So any solutions for problems you might have last year, you can share one or two. Any goals you have for the new year, for yourself, for helping other individuals, helping them generate long-term wealth and whatnot. So talk to us.
Yes. So super excited. Me and Ty did it sounds like I'm echoing. I'm sorry if I am. But me and Ty did a interview earlier, and we talked about the funding program that we have. And that funding program helps you to be able to finance your deals at 100% financing. And if you understand that, you understand the beauty of being able to finance a fix and flip at 100% is just an awesome strategy to jumpstart your real estate career. I came up with this program when I realized that a lot of people could not get from wholesaling with the no money or to little to no money deals, and they wanted to get into flipping, which is where the money really is, and being able to hold real estate and build a real estate portfolio. So one of the options I came up with, because I seen the problem. So the solution to that problem to get you from wholesaling to doing fix and flip, are to be able to just add that into your real estate investing, is being able to secure the financing to do these deals. So with our program, you're able to leverage your credit up to If you have a 680, 690 credit score, you're able to leverage your credit to receive up to $150,000. And one of the things we do is strategize with you and show you how to use this gap funding to finance your deals at 100%. As you know, a hard money lender will fund a great deal. There is no money, no shortage of any money when it comes to a really great real estate deal that makes sense. So if you have a great deal, most hard money lenders will give you the money to purchase the property, and they will give you money to rehab the property. But they always gonna look for you to have some skin in the game, which is 10, 20, 30% plus closing cost points, and 3 to 6 months of monthly reserves that already have to be in your bank account. Plus, a lot of times, most hard money lenders require you to use to be able to handle the first draw of your rehab. So if you don't have that money, you will never be able to do a real estate deal. So the solution to that is the gap funding, where you use the $150,000 to secure that down payment and all the finances that is needed to secure a hard money loan.
All right, guys. I know a lot of you just stated they would love to get to the gap lender. Am I?
You good? Just keep rolling.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, guys. I apologize. So Radhika is here, and as she just explained to you guys, her solution for the new year, for some of you guys wanted to jump from just wholesaling and going into holding, is the Gap Lender Point program that she has. So of course, we will let you know before we end today how you can contact her and get in touch with her and utilize some of the information. But as we do weekly, you have some questions that you're posting, and you can direct them to either one of these guys. They're gurus in what they do. I think so. I mean, I learn something from them every week. So let's jump right into it. Single mom, she already answered your question. There you go. Let's see here. Mordecai, hello. I never make this because I'm always at work. I just want to listen in. What's the very first of your videos I should watch?
Oh my God.
Wow.
He's talking to me?
It's your videos, yes.
I'm trying to do too much stuff here, man. But
you really are.
Probably the very first video that I would recommend if you don't know anything about this stuff or just in the beginning stages would be it's titled Wholesaling Houses Step by Step. Wholesaling Houses Explained Step by Step. It's probably 19 minutes and 41 seconds, I think. It probably has around 40. I'm just trying to give you enough information to identify it. It probably has over 40,000 views on it at this point. So that's probably the one that I would highly recommend you watch first. Second would be 5 mistakes newbies should avoid when wholesaling houses. And the third one I recommend that you watch is top 3 ways to calculate ARV. So there you go. And then I got a couple contract videos that you should watch also.
All right, let's see here. Lionel White says it's over 300. Is it over 300 now? I know we always say over 200.
We still around the 200 mark, you know.
Around 200. Okay. Yeah. Lionel said just pick one. Hey. Deborah wants to know 680 score is needed. Is that the minimum?
Absolutely. So 680 score is the threshold to life. Let's put it like that, because at the end of the day, with a 680 credit score, it opens up 10 times more doors. You're going to have a lower interest rate on your car loan, mortgage. If you get whatever loan, whatever bank loan that you receive from the bank, that 680 credit score will open up so many doors. So a lot of people come to me and they may have a 640, 620, 580. And I always tell them sometimes it's best to take 2 steps backwards to take 10 steps forward. So that 680 gives you that solid foundation that you need. I don't recommend you try to go out here and really do fix and flips with a bad credit score. And the reason why I say that, because lenders would tell you that you can secure a hard money loan with a 580 or lower. And that's totally right. You can secure a hard money loan with a 580 or lower, or at least a 580. But what they didn't tell you, with good credit, you have 10 times more options and better hard money loans with good credit. With that 580 credit score, your hard money lender loan is going to be high. The point's going to be high. It's just a higher, I mean, we'll get you anything, but it's going to be a higher cost for the loan that you receive. So the better your credit is, the more options you have. Even with a 680, we have a hard money loan, which is 100% hard money loan, which allow you to roll in the down payment and some of the closing costs and points, which is a great strategy, but you won't get to that unless you have that 680 or higher. So I recommend, and my motto is always, credit is the gateway to wealth. You know, you can try to go out there and build on a shaky foundation with bad credit. You know, that's not a good way to really build. Sometimes you just take a couple steps back, even though you may be anxious to get it done, but having the proper foundation is really going to help you sustain in this business. And a 680 credit score, yes. So what we do not deny anyone. You submit your information. I'm gonna give you a blueprint credit analysis of your credit, which is gonna tell you exactly what needs to be done to put yourself in qualifying position. I say this all the time, you're 30, 45 days, 60 days away from meeting that 680 threshold, but you just gotta work on your credit.
All right, guys. So basically what she's saying there is some of us, aren't quite at that 680. I know we should be, but it's okay if you're not. She's going to tell you how you can get there as well. So don't count yourself out saying, oh my gosh, well, she's not talking to me. That's not the case. There are steps, there's a process, you know, again, so going back to solutions, she's going to give you some solutions on how to fix that low credit score problem. So James in Columbia asked, how do you get the investor the keys if it's a double close and the investor closes first? Either one of you guys.
It closed all of your double closing should close simultaneously. So the way that I set up my double closing, I set up the, I have the end buyer to come in and close first because the key should be at the property in a lockbox anyway. So at the end of the day, I have my end buyer to come in and close, or I have them to close. I have them in a room, in two separate rooms, and closing them at the same time. But most importantly, I always make sure that when my seller close or sign off on their seller documents, that the money has already been wired and they can get their check. So that's the most important thing, is to make sure your AB or your seller is going to be able to get their check right after closing. So that's one of the reasons why I usually schedule my BC closing, maybe I'll record my AB closing. But at the same time, it should all close simultaneously.
All right, Markelly Upson, and this is still on YouTube. I have a question. If I don't have too much money for bandit signs, would it be okay to cut bandit signs in half? I've heard of other people doing that, but I'm not sure.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah.
You gotta stretch it out. Absolutely. I do that all the time. Actually, I get the big bandit size and I cut it in half. I think that's a great solution. And you can go to Home Depot. There's like these sticks. They're not that expensive, but there's these sticks that you can use to put them in the ground. Or you can go and get you a nail hammer and just nail it to any of the poles, or nail it to a house, or whatever you want to nail it to. But absolutely, great idea.
Okay, so something is better than nothing. So,
and also,
yeah.
Hey, Sunday night, Monday morning, go back and pick them back up. If you know that your money may be a little tight and you can't afford to really get new signs every week, go back Sunday night and pick your signs back up. Because Monday morning, usually that's when the government or the people work, or the sweepers, street sweepers work, and they're gonna pick those signs up on Monday. So if you really press, go back and pick them up.
All right, guys, that sounds good. Hey, getting Gator, go pick them up and plant them back out a little later. Let's see here. What is the best thing to say to potential sellers when cold calling? I have found a few properties, and some are owned by property management companies and some are by owners.
I used to always put myself as the investor. I'm an investor in your area. When I cold call if I cold call, or if I find a property and I'm looking for the owner, I let them know exactly who I am. I am a seasoned investor in your area. I have purchased plenty properties in your neighborhood, and I see your property that is vacant and for sale, and I want to see if you're looking to sell your property as well. And one thing I always would say, and one thing my mentor told me, the first person that say the numbers first will always lose. Because if you thinking 40,000, they thinking 10,000 and some junk, you just cut yourself out of 20, 30,000. So I will always never, if they do press for me to say something, I'm gonna give them a low ball offer to the point where they, it's just gonna be so insulting. But if you say the numbers first, you will lose because you don't know what that seller is thinking. They could think they got some junk, they just want to get rid of it, and you just put an extra 30,000 in their pocket. But always, you got to have the confidence when you call people. You got to make it seem like, hey, you just closed on 10 deals, and I'm the hottest investor in your area, and I need to purchase your property. And just have that confidence when you call them.
All right. Brandon Conrad. Now, guys, on Facebook, I know I'm not missing anything. All I see is Eric. Eric is letting us know how we sound, but I don't see any questions. If I missed something, guys, let me know. I'm restarting it. Instagram, y'all are lagging too. Y'all better ask something. Let's see here. Brandon, do you need to use earnest money for commercial? And do you offer your commercial contract? I guess, Ty, what would they use for commercial properties?
Well, as far as earnest money?
Yes, and do you offer your commercial contract?
On the contract, no, at this point, which is really no actual commercial contract. I have one, a couple, whatever, but in a lot of cases, the actual broker is going to prepare the contract for you. But assuming that there's no broker involved, then yeah, I do have those, but that's just a Google search away as far as a contract. The other thing is that as far as earnest money, which I put it out there on another video or whatever, but normally they're gonna want the earnest money up front. It's just normally how it works. But anything is negotiable. And what I've been able to get away with on a lot of occasions is, it's just a standard on when the earnest money is put up. It's not a law that it has to be put up within a certain time frame after the contract has been signed. So whenever I submit an LOI, which is a letter of intent, and that's not the actual contract, it's basically saying, hey, these are my intentions, and we try to get that agreed upon before you even go to the process of filling out that 18-page contract or however long it is. I'll submit it that I'm going to pay the earnest money one day after the due diligence period. That may be 30 or 45 days or whatever. And some will accept it, some won't, but that's the business in general. So if you don't have the earnest money, that's the way you would submit your offers. And or what you could do is say, hey, I'll put up $1,000. That may be $1 million property. I'll put up $1,000 up front, but you'll probably lose that if you don't close it. That's non-refundable, and then the other $25,000 after the due diligence period is in. Again, some will accept it, some won't. So if that's a deal breaker because of your resources or lack of resources, then it's a deal breaker. It's no different if they didn't give you the price that would work for you. So boom, there you go.
Absolutely. I just want to piggyback on that. It really depends on your exit strategy. Are you looking to purchase a property? Or are you looking to wholesale it? And there's many ways to wholesale a commercial deal. You can put it on a contract, and like Ty said, hey, give me 2 weeks to give you that $25,000. That give me 2 weeks or 2 week, 30 days. Depending if I'm doing a huge multifamily, I need at least 2 to 3 weeks or even 30-day due diligence maybe, depending on how large your multifamily is. And you can say that, hey, the earnest money is due after the due diligence period. That gives you 30 days to go out there and shop it and try to flip your commercial deal out. That's one, to put it on the contract, shop it, flip it out with your end buyer. Have your end buyer submit earnest money ASAP though. It has to go hard. You can tell them to go hard within 48 to 72 hours or something of that nature. But make sure your end buyer understand. And also, before you contract a commercial deal, if you're trying to wholesale it, make sure that you already have some commercial buyers, because those are the things that, you know, is most important if you're trying to wholesale a commercial property. And it's just like wholesaling a commercial deal is just like wholesaling a residential property. I have to wholesale plenty apartment complexes. It's the same thing. You just got to find the buyers who want to buy apartment complexes, and those are buyers are easy to come around to sell off $1 million, $2, $3 million $1 million properties are easy to come around. Another way is to have something that's called an MFA, and it's called a master fee agreement. I will Google that, Google real estate master fee agreement. On that agreement, if I do not try to wholesale it out to and flip it out to my end buyer, I don't have to. I can give the end buyer the same price that I received it, and I'm gonna put a master fee agreement in place. And in that master fee agreement, it says how many points that the seller or the buyer has to pay me upon closing.
All right, guys, that answers your question, I hope, in regards to that commercial properties. On Facebook, Eric does have a question. Let's see here. Ty, are you putting the Facebook questions on the screen, or is it automatic?
Yeah. Well, we got who you asking? Who?
The only question we got on Facebook right now.
Oh, what did he say? Oh, that was I know we got one on there now. Eric Corny says.
Oh my gosh, Eric, I apologize. I just said that, man. I said the question from Eric. Yes. Eric's question is, do you open an escrow account for the seller's earnest money, or do you write a business check?
Oh no, they wiring it straight to the attorney. The attorney has the escrow account, so you have them to wire it straight. I deal with attorneys when it comes to earnest money. You don't have to put it in my hand, wire it straight to my attorney or your attorney, whoever the attorney that's on, that everyone agreed to use. Have them to use wire to the attorney, which has the escrow account.
All right, Eric, hopefully that answers your question. If you don't know who Eric is, as he states, the IMDb man. He successfully answers all our movie quote questions, although most of our movie quotes come from the same movies over and over. We're not going to talk about that right now, though. Okay, moving along. Single Mom Phenom says, while on strip malls, they look for unlisted properties. What about visiting a growing city and letting a commercial broker show us standalone single tenant vacant properties? Does that sound like a good idea, possibly?
Absolutely. I mean, I believe in deal flow. I don't care where it flows from, as long as the deal makes sense. So if you want to connect with an agent, a broker, I believe the best deals are the ones that off market that the broker don't have. But at the same time, there's a lot of great deals on MLS as well. So absolutely, it doesn't matter where the deal come from. All that matters, do the deal make sense?
All right. Hello, Princess Aria on Instagram, and pronounced Tiara like a crown. That's cute. Repost your question. I do not see it. I did log out briefly on Instagram, so repost it so I can ask that question, Tiara. Eric, leave me alone. Okay. That's on your end. I'm not sure what the feedback is because we fixed it last week, guys, but I apologize. And as always, the video is available on YouTube afterwards, and YouTube typically doesn't have any problems going on. And I love you too, Kathy. Kathy says she loves me. Let's see here. Billy asks, guys, when it comes to hard money, you don't need credit. If you find the right deal, hard money lenders will be happy to get it for you. Oh, it's not a question, it's a statement. Yes,
you don't need credit, but you will need some money. You will need that 10, 15, 20% plus closing cost points, 3 to 6 months of monthly reserves in your bank account, as well as to first draw your rehab money. So you're absolutely right, but you still need some money to secure your hard money loan.
Okay. Eric says I'm perfect again. Napoleon, who's just jumping in here. So he says this might be an off the wall question, but which do you think is better? LexisNexis or TLO for getting contact info for vacant homeowners? And his question was on Facebook.
Both. Both is really what you can afford. LexisNexis is very expensive. TLO is as well. It's really what you can afford, but you do get what you pay for.
Okay. Tierra has reposted her question on Instagram. She asks, what do you do when you have a wholesale contract, but the seller has signed a contract with another wholesaler? Sounds like you don't have much, nothing, but what we got?
I mean, are you saying a wholesale contract as far as you have the property under contract, or you have the right to wholesale it?
Doesn't clarify. Let me read it again. What to do when you have a wholesale contract, but the seller has signed a contract with another wholesaler? Maybe even that.
Is that a purchase contract, or is that a wholesale agreement?
I'm sorry. She says, yes, we have the property under contract. Well, it sounds like maybe the seller is double dipping and trying to see who can get them. Yeah, the seller.
It's really who have contracted that property first, and you have every right. And if he have contracted that property, you could put a lien on that property. So if you do try to sell it with someone else, that lien will pop up. And you can use your purchase and sales agreement, go down to the county, you can put a lien on the property where he has to pay you if you try to sell it to someone else.
Okay, she follows that up with, what do you do if you suspect your seller is falsifying documents? Well, everything is verified through the title company in the end game, right? So they can only falsify so much.
Absolutely. Falsify if you want to. I know a lot of investors right now that got some lawsuit pending against them. So honestly, these are real documents. I don't do any transaction without an attorney. I send my purchase and sales agreement, any agreement that we signed off on, I send everything to the attorney. The attorney pulls title, and let the attorney do their job to make sure that they give you a clear title.
All right, Shavonda Smith is on YouTube, and she says, Radhika, can you introduce yourself? I guess I've never seen you on here before. Okay, guys, sounds like Shavonda, you might have joined us a little later, so we're midways in. So I will take this opportunity, if you're just not joining us, to do what we always do, a little house cleaning. You're here beside Flipman Taylor. We do have Miss Radhika here. She has some great information for you guys in regards to, generational wealth. I love it when she says that. It just makes it sound like it's going to be long term. I'll be rich forever. Yeah. And holding and being able to buy properties she has information on if you want to go beyond just wholesaling. It does require a little bit more from you, a little bit more effort, a little bit more time, and a little bit of your credit, well, a whole lot of your credit. But I'm going to let her introduce herself again, Ms. Shavonda, in case you missed it and anybody else is joining us. So, hello, Radhika.
Awesome. Hello, Ms. Shavonda and the Flippinar Flipman team. I mean, y'all are awesome. But my name is Radhika Williams. I've been in the real estate and finance arena over 14 years. I studied my background in undergrad degrees is in real estate and finance. I have a master's in finance, as well as insurance license, real estate license, security license, whatever license that I had needed to really master money. And that's what finance is all about. But one of the things that I specialize in is real estate and real estate investing and building real estate portfolios. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook. I'm all over the place. And yeah, that's me.
All right. Following up on Eric's question, which was on YouTube in regards to the earnest money, he says, I was referring to when the seller of the home, to me, the investor, how do I give them the earnest money? I guess if he's using the method of emailing the contract and never actually sees the seller, how would he give them their money then?
So I'm assuming you're wholesaling, right?
We'll go with that.
You wholesaling?
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That's what he's doing?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm assuming you're wholesaling. So what you're saying is, when you did your AB contract, you told the seller that you're going to give him $500 earnest money. You may have, you may not. And then you went to the end buyer and you did the BC contract and you told them to secure this contract, I need $500 earnest money. I usually don't give the seller any earnest money unless I have to, because I get my end buyer on the BC contract to wire their earnest money to the closing attorney. And then I let the seller know, hey, this is the closing attorney information. You can call and verify that your $500 earnest money is with the attorney.
All right. So I hope that helps you, Eric. Hope that clears that up. Now, granted, if you're sitting beside the seller and you're actually physically filling out the contract with them right beside you, and say we do, one of our low balls, $10 just to make it legal and buy them. I mean, just hand them $10, guys. Just give it to them. That's good enough too, correct?
Absolutely.
All right. So let's see here. Drakeman 26 on YouTube says, hey, Flipman, this is for you, Ty. Ty, they say you look bored and that you're not in this. We can. No, man.
You want the lady to do all the work.
Hey, make sure all this stuff keeps working. But go ahead, though. I got to go.
He says, hey, Flipman, have you ever did any triple net deals? And if so, can you tell us about it? And in your defense, single mom says you deserve this moment because we keep you work near to death. Oh.
Yeah, man, I don't put anything out there unless I've done it. Really that simple. I got introduced to it by a couple of the students because they did want me to participate in some earnest money to put a deal together. And as I don't know how long you've been watching, as I explained before, I was like, it got to be a better way of doing this, because you could, if you're out there getting it, trying to put a lot of offers in, you could have 100K out there like it ain't nothing, which that's nothing to sneeze at as far as money. So I said, what prevents me from making my offer and putting earnest money up after the due diligence? So to answer your question, yeah.
All right. Black Princess on Instagram asks, how do you work wholesale deals when you are out of state? My cousin has access to REO in North Carolina. However, I live in New York. Can you give me some advice?
I mean, you can work a wholesale deal regardless of where you are. It's all because everything is contract based and emails. So if you have an end buyer, I don't know how you're going to work that, but if your cousin has the deals and you may have an investor out in New York or somewhere who's looking for properties, and if that's a deal that makes sense to them, you contract it just like you do any other wholesaler. You figure out how you put it on the contract with the seller, and you do another BC contract with the end buyer, and you close it. And you can close it remotely. You don't have to. I do a lot of out-of-state closing. They're called out-of-state closing, and that's what they do is just send you the closing documents, and then you have to go and get those documents notarized and send it back overnight to them. So it's pretty simple. It's the same thing. You just close out-of-state if you need to close. Or you may work something out with your cousin where they go to the closing table and pay you.
Okay. Let's see here. Napoleon Hill, which is a statement from Facebook. He says, I close 1 to 2 deals a month, averaging about 10K. Whoop, whoop. Do your thing. That's 10K a month. That's life altering. Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is.
About 10K a piece. But he wants to scale up and do between 4 to 6 deals a month. What ways can you suggest for me to accomplish that besides sending out more direct mail?
Absolutely. I like this question. I close currently about 5 to 10 deals a month wholesale. And to be honest with you, is one investor. So I tell people a lot, it's not about having all the investors, it's about having the investor. It's not about having a investor, it's about having the investor. So one of my investors is an international buyer, and he buys. Right now I have helped them build over 600 doors here in Atlanta, Georgia. But most importantly, he's an investor that want to buy 20 houses a month. So I look for, and the key is the money is the buyers. So you got to look for more buyers, because if you have the money, in my opinion, the real estate is easy to find. And one of the ways that I find real estate, if it's not my own deal, is I always network with other wholesalers. I have networked with so many wholesalers where I get about 15 to 20 deals in my email a week. So don't underestimate connecting, co-brokering, and connecting with other wholesalers. They will feed you their deals. Hey, I don't have to go out there in the field, and I can still make $10,000, $15,000 off their deal. Run it. It's good for me. So connecting with other wholesalers, which allows you to have another flow of deals to your email that you can wholesale to your investors, and also finding those real large investors that's looking to purchase 2 or 3 deals a month. I love investors like that. I actually don't care for onesies and twosies. I want the investor that really about this life and really want to go out here and buy 2 or 3 deals or 5 deals a month from me. And it doesn't take everybody, it just take a few good investors on your team. So that's just a gem to help you with that.
All right, Ty, this is for you. James says, where's the Gator? The Gator was supposed to snap at that last comment. You're not focusing.
It's not in reaching distance.
That's exactly what he says. Ty must not have the Gator in the room.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, but well, yeah.
Don't get it. I'm not my camera over trying to reach for something.
That was so funny.
Let's see here. So the Naughty Vegan, hi there. I wanted to know what is the most important thing we should look for when attempting to wholesale pre-closures, and is it more difficult than any regular wholesale deal? Thanks for your answer.
I think it depends on what type of pre-foreclosure. If it's bank owned already, it will be hard, but not necessarily you'll have to double close it. Banks do not do assignments. They're not going to approve the HUD. They have to approve the HUD. Most foreclosures are pre-foreclosure. If the banks are in the deal, or if it's a pre-foreclosure, that means the seller is behind on their mortgage. So at the end of the day, you may have to catch them up. So there's a lot of things that need to be done in pre-foreclosures. I believe in looking for easy deals. You know, pre-foreclosure is great, but it all depends on if the seller is or the homeowner is behind on their mortgage, which is a whole nother lender issue, or if it's already been sold, or if the lender have already kind of taken it back and trying to foreclose on it. That's a whole nother issue. So you have to figure out all those parameters when you do pre-foreclosures.
All right. Savannah on YouTube asks, at what point in time do you meet with an attorney? Is it before anyone signs the contract, or is it only at closing? I wasn't sure if the attorney had to be present when all the contracts were signed. I think you kind of answered this a little bit earlier, but I guess the simple answer would be what?
Yeah, so no, the attorney doesn't have to be present when the contract is signed. You want to put the attorney name on the contract, but once it's executed, you want to forward the contract, the executed contract, to your closing attorney. And then from there, the closing attorney is going to take that contract and pull a title, and then you all are going to come to the closing table. So you don't have to drive to the closing attorney to get in the contract. That's really just an email that you forward over to your closing attorney.
All right. Mr. James has a question in regards to, is it a deal? He asked, do you do any deals in West Memphis, Arkansas area? I have a deal. After repair value is $67,485. So we'll just say $67,500. And the asking price is $30,000, but I can get it lower. Would you consider that a deal? I think he needs to get a little lower.
I need my calculators. So, but at the same time, this is how you do these deals. I need my calculator to do this. But I'm gonna show you what's the ARV of your deal.
67 and a half.
If he can give out his calculator, we can do this together. Hands-on assignment where you can run this same calculation on all your deals. So multiply 70% times the ARV.
Okay, 47 and a quarter.
70% of the ARV is 47,000.
Yes.
How much you purchasing it for?
He says the asking price is 30, but he can get it lower.
Asking price is 30. And how much is the rehab amount?
Did not state that. That would be, we need to know that, James. What's the estimate of repairs? Well, what kind of condition is this in? We don't have.
So basically, you need to be all in with your purchase price and your rehab amount at 70% of ARV. If you over 70%, it's not a deal. If you under that 70%, it is a deal.
All right, James, I hope you got that. Yeah, I hope you got that. And yes, Ty, they noticed. They was like, where you went? He went to go get the Gator, guys.
Hey, Napoleon, this is your answer right here. Change the game, stand out from the rest of your competition. And when the seller receives this in the mail and it has a picture of their property on it, well, you may already be doing it, I don't know. But if you're not, mail-to-flip.com.
Oh, that was a good one. That's a good gem.
Yep, Gator with mail-to-flip.com. No comment. We have another question on Facebook, and it is from Allison. And actually, Allison KZ is asking the question, but I've seen it posted maybe 2 or 3 times on YouTube as well. How do I find the numbers of owners of abandoned houses, vacant homes, abandoned houses? How do we find their information?
Okay, so one of the ways is go to the tax records and see if the tax record, pull the tax record of that particular property. If the mailing address is different from the home or the address of the current subject property, that means that they live at that particular address, or that's an address that you can send a direct mail to let them know that you're interested in purchasing the property. Another way is skip tracing. Skip tracing is what the gentleman was talking about with LexisNexis, TLO, People Search. Those are a few skip tracing websites that you can use. And if you put in the homeowner's address, you're able to pull up their information. So that's one of the ways that you can find that. And to me, skip tracing to me is better than direct mail because I get their phone number and I call them directly. I don't have to wait and see if they're gonna see my mail, if they may toss it out. I'm still waiting. But if I can get them on the phone, the quicker I can get them on the phone, the quicker I can close the deal, or I can at least get them excited about selling the property. So Google skip tracing and real estate skip tracing. And basically these are just people search softwares that allow you to search people, their information, and find their phone numbers so you can call them directly.
Okay. Arthur says, what up, y'all? Quick question. That's one way to get my attention. Question, I know you're using Zoom for the calls, but what are you guys using to broadcast the video to us? OBS or vMix, or the quality is fire?
Well, it Zooms. Well, we're actually using 2 platforms. For YouTube, we're using Zoom, and for Facebook, it's called BeLive.tv. I just switched over to that. About 3 weeks now, Adria? This is probably the third or 4th one. And a matter of fact, the Zoom, I had to have 2 Zoom accounts, because whenever you're trying to run on different platforms, you just can't. You only got one camera if it's coming out of a laptop or a webcam or whatever. So you have to actually have 2 accounts. So he called me today and asked me why did I cancel the other Zoom account, and I was like, well, man, I said the only reason I didn't cancel the other one is because BeLive doesn't have they don't integrate with YouTube at this point, but he had never even heard of it before, and which is his competition. I said, they just have features. He said, well, you can broadcast live. I said, I'm already doing that. I said, but being able to post someone's actual comment there from Facebook or whatever, like I don't know if you all have noticed it, but that just allows people to engage a little bit more. That's what social media is. So anyway, so he said he'll pass that along. But to answer his question, for YouTube currently, Zoom, you don't need OBS for that. Zoom just takes care of it for you, and it's a lot more user friendly. OBS is a very difficult platform to use. I've tried to use it, and I think I'm a little bit above average on the techie side. where Zoom is basically just pushing some buttons and you're on. And same thing with Be Live for the most part. So Zoom and Be Live.
Thank you for that plug of Zoom, Be Live. And
I'm not getting a dime off of either one of them at this point.
David Thompson. Hey, David, I don't think I saw you last week. Anyway, I have a buy and hold cash buyer who wants to put an inspection contingency on the contract because the buyer wants to put her family in the home. Should I just move on to the next buyer?
What type of contingency?
Inspection contingency.
Honestly, it depends on if it's a cash deal. You got about 2 days due diligence. I don't care what you do in that due diligence period, do your inspection, your appraisal, whatever you need to do, walk the roof. I don't care, but you got 2 days to do your due diligence. And during that due diligence period is when they need inspection. I don't do anything. I don't like contingencies. I give you a due diligence. If you're a real investor, you can go in there and do your thing in 2 or 3 days.
All right. Hey, Shaq. Shaq is our Gator from the west side of Detroit. Welcome. Where you been? You weren't here last week either. I'm roll calling y'all. I'm going to start roll calling and name checking if I don't see y'all here every week. Y'all know better. Mm-hmm. Ranikia, this question is for you. Let's see here.
Where is it from?
YouTube.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
How do you find most of your deals? What are your methods?
It's really not one method. You got to have a combinations of methods. You got to have, when I first started, I used to put a lot of bandit signs out. I did 100 bandit signs a weekend. That was 400 bandit signs a month. Therefore, I did that 6 months straight. My phone didn't stop ringing. I also go and connect with all the real estate groups in my area. There's nobody in Atlanta that don't know who I am because I'm at all the real estate networking events. I'm at the real estate real groups. Whoever's throwing a real estate event, I'm there. So you want to really become a part of the community. You want to go out there and connect with other wholesalers. Like I was telling the young gentleman earlier, other wholesalers, I co-broker a wholesaler deal all day. So one of the ways that I move a lot of deals is the fact that I'm connected with a whole lot of investors and a whole lot of wholesalers. So don't underestimate connecting with your wholesaler colleagues in your area. I always ask them, do they have any deals? Because they have a deal, I got a deal. And if I have a buyer that wants their deal, we have a buyer that wants their deal. So at the end of the day, in the way that I co-broker, I don't even co-broker. What do you want for? You want 60? I bring you 60. That's anything on top is mine. If I sell it for 75, 80, that's mine on top. So what way I co-broker my deal is I really do a double closing. I put it on the contract with my wholesaler, and I do another BC contract with my end buyer. So it still seems like I'm wholesaling or flipping out that deal, and we do a double closing at the closing table. So that connecting, that's one of the biggest ones, honestly. Connecting with every investor in your local area. If it's not a real estate group in your local area, create one. If you have a hot market, there's somebody else in your area that wants to connect with you. So that's one of the ways, bandit signs. And we do a lot of skip tracing. Also, I have a team that goes out in the field. I call them my field team. And they do driving for dollars. Driving for dollars is a great way to get leads. We go out there. I have quotas. Each one of my field team have to bring me 10 addresses a week. I let them know the areas that we need to be in. So you want to go out and identify those hot areas. And a couple days a week, you just want to drive those areas, find out if there is any bandit properties in those areas. You know of a bandit property when you see one. And you take that address down. And then you go home and you look up the tax records, find out what is the mailing address of the homeowner. And then you may get into some type of skip tracing software where you're able to put their information in the software and it spits out phone numbers that is associated with that homeowner. And those are probably my top 3 ways of finding deals.
All right. Rodney on Facebook has a question. He wants to know, what do you guys think about ringless voicemails? Ty, you dallied in that yet?
That's what they sort of got today. Some people got the notification. I sort of didn't do it completely how I wanted to do. I sent it from the wrong number, but I guess they got it because some people have texted me saying they, wow. But anyway, so I've actually, see, a lot of stuff I've run into over the years, and I won't give it a chance. I just started giving both of those a chance this week, and I got bombarded with calls. So I got to get a little bit more. Well, I ain't gonna say bombarded with calls, but when you only person answer, you send out 200, which is not a lot for that, and 5 people call you basically at once. You got to come up with a better way of doing it. But those ringless voicemails or voicemail broadcast, and if you don't know what it is, people might not know what it is, but basically is that you'll record a message, and these services, they will allow you to send out, first you got to have a phone number list. Let me say that first of all. They will allow you to send out voicemail, but the person's phone never rings. It just drops it right into their voicemail. So like my message may say, hey, I'm sorry I missed you. This is Ty over at 10daybuyers.com. We're looking to buy 2 more houses in your area this month. And now I'm stuttering, but it won't be that on the voice, but on the voicemail, but we buy as is, we pay all cash, we close in normally 2 weeks. If you have an unwanted house you are interested in selling, please call me back at this number. I may quote a number, I just test it. So I may have one where I have an actual phone number and the others I don't. So if it drops that message, so either they're gonna, which I tell them to call or text me back at the number. So sometimes they'll text, but sometimes they'll call. Now you're gonna get some fools like, how do you get my number? And all this crazy stuff. So, just be transparent with them. I bought an absentee list and I found the phone number, so, or whatever, but you just have to deal with that part of it. Now, the voice broadcast, which is what some of you all received with me and Adria saying, hey, and all this stuff, Adria did a great job. I'm not sure how I did, but that's similar. And basically what you do, I'm sure everybody's gotten this. You pick up the phone and you say hello, and somebody just starts talking and you say, but you realize it's an actual recording. Do the same thing for when you're trying to find sellers or whatever. So the way that goes is say, which it's a lot of ways to do it. I'm not the most creative. If I hear something, I'm the best copycat and add my little twist to it. But it may say, hey, we buy houses. Hi, my name is Ty. I'm with 10daybuyers.com. Same message with the voicemail. I'm looking to buy 2 more houses in your area this month. If you have any unwanted houses you would like to sell, we buy as is. We pay all cash. We close in normally 2 weeks. If you have an unwanted house you would like to sell, please call or text us at this number or whatever. Or, well, with that, the service that I use, I'll say leave a message. So leave your name, your best phone number to call you back on, and the address of the property you would like to sell. In order to leave that message, press 8 to leave your information, and I'll repeat that again, and then I'll thank them for that day. So I know I rambled there, but yeah, you get the gist of it. So to answer your question, I'm going to be really rolling with it. So it's not enough for me to even put out there to talk about no more than what I just did, because I hadn't done a deal on it yet, but it's very inexpensive. The list will cost more than what it'll initially allow you to do as far as broadcasting it out. So I don't know if you had any experience with it, Radhika, but I'm all over that right now. And I was introduced to it and looked into it over a year ago and just didn't give it a chance. And that's what a lot of markets, you got to get that stuff a chance and be committed to whatever budget you're going to put to it and let it play out, and just make sure you just track, where your leads are coming from to see if you need to compound your efforts, financially and resources. So.
Absolutely. That's actually a great explanation. And my thing with Ringless voicemail is it's a scale up move. If you are at that point in your business that you are buying lists and you buying a lot of them, I think that's a great way to scale up, where you can call everybody in a blink of an eye and leave them a voicemail. But if you have 5 to 10 phone numbers and that you have skip traced or you drove for dollars and you don't have about 10 or 15, you may want to call them directly and try to get these people on the phone, and not wait for them to call you back. It's for them individuals who are really at that scale up level, have bought lists, and really don't have the time to call 500 people. But if you just have a few, you may want to call them directly and try to get them on the phone.
All right. Hope that answers your question, Rodney. I see that you posted. Thanks. You're more than welcome. That's what we're here for. D-Mac on YouTube. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Everybody tell D-Mac happy birthday.
Happy birthday, D-Mac.
He there. Came and joined us even though it was his birthday. It's my cousin's birthday and it's a good guy for me.
This is a great thing to be on your birthday right here.
Right. Talking about money. Season of the Capricorns. Get it. Let's see here. Ranikia, just so you know, Corey has been singing your praises on YouTube for weeks now. He's telling everybody, hey, Ranikia is the real deal, guys. Get with her. She can make things happen for you.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. This dude says your hair is on fleek. So stop doing your shot, guys. I ain't reading it. I'm not entertaining. I guess I'm a hater. Let's see here. Normally we have haters and gators. I get to be a hater today. And LB is yay, LB finally made it to the closing attorney's office. He sold a property for $22K. The ARV was 30. He grossed about 3,000 on the deal in Charlotte, North Carolina. So way to go. LB,
congratulations. Yes.
Let's see here. I have two questions in regards to this 10. Let me scroll up because I've lost it. A 1031. How often do you do 1031 exchange and when do you actually cash it out? I have to plead the fifth. I don't know what 1031 is. That's Halloween, October 31st.
1031 exchange is one of those things that you have to reinvest the money before the end of the tax year. And if not, you have to pay taxes on it. So from my understanding, you got to reinvest it within that year. If not, you got to pay taxes on it.
Yeah, just to add to that, basically, you just delaying it. You just keep, and a lot of people just keep delaying it. So they have to buy a like property within a certain price range or whatever. I think they only have like anywhere from 30 to 60 days. They have to, it might be 90 days. I don't know. It's just, all you have to do is just Google it. But to identify a property first in that time frame, then it's not much longer after that they have to close on it. So I think it's within 6 months, I think. But again, that's just a Google search away. That's a simple definition that'll break it down in the parameters of, but basically just a way where people that they don't need the money from the sale of the property, just need to be able to move their money somewhere else so they don't have to pay taxes on it. At some point they will, or whatever that may be after they die and they let their kids have to pay it. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever, but whatever properties that they're normally they're buying income producing properties. So they just want the income. It ain't even about the money because the money's already in the asset, which is the real estate. So it's just a way of delaying the taxes just continuously by buying like properties within a certain price range, a time frame. So.
All right, Tim Riker on YouTube asks, is a letter of intent, a LOI, okay to use instead of purchase and sell contract with a motivated seller? And does the Flipman have one to download? Now, you know, he has that one-page purchase and sell agreement available to each and every one of you that he's been using since the beginning of time.
Who asked that?
Tim on YouTube.
On YouTube, okay. Yeah, on Facebook, I'm putting up the little thing banner. But yeah, just go to flipman.net to get the contract. I should have already said that or whatever, because most people want that if they don't or whatever. But flipman.net or freecontract.net, you can get it at either one of those places for free with an instructional video. Instagram went down. Get it back up.
Okay.
Oh my.
Ooh. What popped up on yours? 'Cause I don't know what Instagram got going on.
I don't know. Sometimes you just open it up and it just be in your feed or whatever.
Yeah, I know. Because my son, just side note, my 12-year-old son just got, I chewed into it. He was like, but it just popped up. And I was like, no, dog, that just don't pop up. And I did it on my phone and it just popped up. I was like, ooh, yeah, close. Couldn't close it fast enough. So he got out of that. Okay, so we're back live on Instagram.
We haven't mentioned my internet marketing guru. My buddy's watching this right now. Torian in Memphis. Make sure that we have, I've been posting it on Facebook, people on Instagram, YouTube and Instagram, but Radhika is here and she's going to be here more often with us if the time permits or whatever. But fundmynextdeal.com is the way you access, all the stuff she's talking about on the financial side. So fundmynextdeal.com just to get that plug in. So go on with the show.
All right, guys, you got it. I've been seeing it. I was waiting till the end, but y'all been asking how you can get in touch with Miss Radhika. Fundmynextdeal.com. It don't matter what her Instagram page is. I think I had 5 questions. What's the Instagram? Okay. Fundmynextdeal.com. Give her time to respond, guys. You're not the only ones. This isn't only her only platform of speaking with individuals. Give her 24 to 48 hours. I'm sure you will receive some type of notification that she sees you. And then, of course, allow more time. Just have your stuff ready to rock and roll. Do your due diligence and have, your stuff in order. You kind of know there's some questions that she's going to ask. What type of things do they need to have in order when you get ready to call them back, Radhika?
So basically how it works, once you go to fundmynextdeal.com, that's going to give you access to my site. You're going to input your information under the gap funding tab. Once you input that information in the gap funding tab, you're going to get an email. You're going to get an email instantly to the email address that you put into the site. And it may go into your spam or promotion folder. That email is going to give you instructions on how to move forward with the gap funding option. And within 48 to 72 hours, one of my wealth consultants most likely will give you a call if you have any questions. Also, when you input the information on the site, you will get my contact information and my office number as well. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact my office number, and one of my wealth consultants will be able to answer your question. Or if you do just need to speak with me, we can arrange that as well.
Okay. Ty, James wants you to explain something. Now, I can give an answer, but they don't come here for my answers. So we have LB, who just stated earlier that he pocketed about $3,000 on, this is on YouTube, $3,000 on a deal where the deal was for 22 and the after repair value is 30. So I'm assuming that he got it under contract for 19 and flipped it for 22 and took his $3,000. Well, what James wants to know, why was that a deal when his deal wasn't? I have to scroll back up to it, when he was making 50 cents on a dollar. Now, realistically speaking, just numbers alone, 19 for a property that's 30K, you would be like, that's not a deal anyway, just off the top of your head. It could work, and obviously it did work for LB, but typically, would you say no, because it doesn't meet the 70% rule, correct?
Well, the ARV is 30. The ARV was 30.
Right.
Well, understand about the so-called formula, whatever. I put it out there because it's difficult for people to understand what a deal is, right? It's not set in stone that that's going to be the workable number. For me, I don't have to use it because I just know when I hear something, but it's just to prevent you from wasting time to stuff that has no chance of being a deal. Because I'm in actuality going to want it lower than what the formula say. Now, the higher price the house is, the more effective that formula becomes. But when you start talking about $40,000 and $50,000 ARVs, that formula really goes out the window. You just got to get them cheap. Now, he was fortunate and he had an ARV of 30. Somebody paid 22 for it. I'm sure Radhika was going to agree with him. You were very fortunate. Didn't make any money.
I'm about to explain to you why that is a good deal. It's a numbers game. I'm gonna tell you like this, it's a numbers game. You can't go wrong. It's really your exit strategy. When you told me about your deal that was for 30, that needed, you didn't know how much it needed, but it was only worth 60-some thousand or whatever, that lets me know that you're trying to flip it. That lets me know your exit strategy is flipping. But a $20,000 property that is worth 30, if it only needs $5,000 or $6,000 worth of work, that is a buy and hold. So his exit strategy, when he flipped it out to his end buyer, that end buyer is probably looking at that deal as a buy and hold deal. If you are all in at $30,000, if you really do the return on a $30,000 property that you're getting $650 a month on, you're talking about a 22% return. You can't go wrong. So it's really your exit strategy on if it's a good deal or not. If you're gonna hold it, and I'm all in at 50,000 and I'm gonna hold it, it's a good deal. But if I'm looking to flip out a property and flip it and rehab it, then it's not a good deal. So it really all depends on your exit strategy. And a deal that's all in at 30,000 is always a good deal, because if you do the numbers, the return is always above 20%. And as you know, your 401k or someone's 401k is only getting about 6% a year. So if I can put my money into a $30,000 property that's getting me 20% a year, it's outperforming my 401k.
All right, LB, and actually that was a question from James. I hope that answers your question. He said his buyer had minor repairs, which was 5,000. Oh, that was LB's, and it was going straight to Section 8. So
right, so that's a good deal. That's an awesome deal. I mean, he's all in at 27, 28,000. Right. And he's gonna Section 8 it. That's an awesome deal. That's a buy and hold.
So James, you say you're wholesaling it. So different outcomes, different processes, different, you know, it just.
Look, let me take this back, you guys. If you're wholesaling a property, it's not up to you to do all this extra 70% numbers. It helps you to know if you can tag in how big of your assignment fee you can tag on. But if you're wholesaling the property, it's up to that end buyer to figure out that 70%, if the deal work, if it don't work. To me, that 70% rule, if I'm wholesaling it, it only lets me know what is my assignment spread. Because if I know that this property is all in at 50%, I got a little spread. I can add another $10,000 or so, because it's still a good deal under 70%. So if you wholesaling it, you know, let the end buyer run his own numbers.
Yeah, just to add to that, it boils down to the right type of buyer. You know what I'm saying? You only need one.
The buyer. It's a deal.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, Marquise has a question. It's on YouTube. Do I get a contractor and an inspector when I'm trying to evaluate my wholesale deal?
Absolutely not. You may want to get a contractor because the rehab amount is very, very important, but don't worry about it. Your contractor should be free to go out there and give you a contractor bid. But never do an inspection or any of that. That's not your problem. You're just trying to wholesale it to allow the end buyer to do their own inspection.
Yeah, what I would just add to that also is that because you don't know the repairs and
right,
using that contractor, after you go out there once, maybe twice, you should know what stuff costs generally. There's no number, because if you send 3 contractors out, they're gonna come back with 3 different bids. You just need a ballpark number to work into whether you have a deal or not, you know. So basically same thing she said, but just add to
right. But you're absolutely right. You're gonna get to a point you're gonna ballpark it. One thing about it, I may say 15,000, but you need to go out there and do your own due diligence. It may be 25,000 to you. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you, I estimated 15,000. Now it's up to you to go out. It's up to your end buyer to go out there and do their own due diligence. It may be 25,000. Hey, I gave you my estimate. That's what you asked for. So, yeah.
All right. DMAC Beats on YouTube. And hey guys, we're about a quarter after 7. It's always every week. We roll over a little bit, and I'm about to get to the point where I'm gonna take 2 or 3 more questions across all platforms and get those answered, and we'll close it out. But we are here next week, and this video is available after we get done, and you can continue posting questions. Ty will respond and answer those as they are on YouTube,
and Facebook.
And so with that being said, I'm going to jump into this is it a deal question from DMAC. Ty, you got your calculator?
Oh, well, yeah.
After repair value is 166.8. So we'll say 167. Repairs are estimated at 26.1. We'll say 26. My fee, taking you from your notes, is $14K. MAO I came up with is 76.763, and it's in Phoenix, Arizona.
What did he say he wanted his fee to be?
$14K.
Ooh, I know that's right. Hey,
where did he come up with 14K at? Why not just 15? But anyway.
Well, that's fine. We'll round up.
Do 15,000.
We gonna do
14,
yeah. So yeah, if you can get that property at, we'll basically say 76 grand or 75,000, and he said what, 167? Yeah. That should be a good deal. So what do you think?
What's the repair? What's the rehab amount?
20. He said $26,100.
Yes.
So 26. What's 26 plus that 76 plus that 14?
Yeah. It's like 76,000 roughly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's with his 14 in it?
Yeah, that's with his 14 in it.
Oh, yeah. Plus 20. So that's you all in about 90-95. Oh, yeah, that's a deal all day.
Yeah, that's smoking.
You can put your 14 on that. You make it go up a little bit more. You make that 15.
No, DMAC, put your 14 on it, but
I'll
take that. Don't worry about that. I got you. All right, DMAC, it sounds as if you might just have a deal. Go ahead and get that under contract and get it rolling. The only way to find out is, get it under contract and find you a buyer. That's the easy part, right? We've been saying it for forever. That's the easy part. With that much money out there, you shouldn't have a problem with finding somebody that'll take it off your hands. So good luck with that. Let's see here. Oh, he said he got that repair amount from his amount from looking at your video. I'm calculating deals. Now on Facebook, rotating to Facebook, let's see here. Makisha Joseph asks, when I find a deal, I get it under contract. I find an investor who wants to buy it. I have a separate contract for the investor. How do I get it from the investor to closing?
I don't see Makisha.
Makisha Joseph, she's third question down.
Okay.
So basically you'll end up with 2 contracts. You're end up with your AB contract and your BC contract. Your AB contract will be you and the original homeowner, which will be at a lower price, and then you're gonna flip it out to your end investor, your end buyer, which will be your BC contract. So you should have 2 purchase and sales agreement, or a purchase and sales agreement with an assignment agreement, however you run your agreements. And then you just email it to the attorney. So hopefully you already have an attorney on your team that understand what you're doing, that understand maybe double closing, and you just email both of those contracts to the attorney. And from there, the attorney pretty much is going to take it from there. There's going to be additional documents that they may need for you, the seller and the end buyer. What you do is give everyone's contact information. You make sure the end buyer and the seller has the attorney information, attorney have their information, so they can contact each other directly for the additional documents that is needed for closing.
All right, Makisha, hopefully that answers your question. Napoleon on Facebook, who's been doing very well for himself in the wholesaling deal. He, first of all, one of his questions was, what do you think about direct mail campaigning? Considering that we're wearing these lovely t-shirts that says mail-to-flip.com, which has a wonderful service available to you, Napoleon. I think we condone direct mailing campaigns. They work.
we condone. We condone.
But his question was, 2017 was my first year wholesaling full time from February 28th to December. I made a couple of dollars shy of 100K. This will be my first year filing taxes for it. With that being said, what do I need to file correctly, or what do I need to do to make sure I don't have to pay a ton? This is what I really need the tips on. I know.
File your taxes quarterly. File your taxes quarterly. So you get with your tax accountant, or your CPA, or whoever files your taxes at the end of the year. File them quarterly, so you're already paying into your taxes every quarter. So by the end of the year, you don't have a full tax bill. You probably just have the end of the year quarter taxes to pay.
All right, Ty, we have a old student of yours. Ty was my first mentor about 5 years ago, and this is Lee Jones on Facebook. Made 18K on my first deal.
Hey, Lee is in Houston.
Wow.
I mean, wait a minute.
Good job.
Lee is he's in either Houston or Dallas. I'm gonna say Houston.
Mm-hmm. Lee, where you at? Made 18K on my first deal. This dude changed my life. Thanks, man. Forever grateful. And he's in Dallas.
Okay.
This stuff is life changing, guys. Like literally, it really is.
Eric wants to know, what do you put on your LLC operating agreement as in wholesaler?
LLC operating agreement. Your operating agreement is just an inside agreement on how if you are 100% of the owner, your operating agreement is really whatever you want it to be. You know, you can Google operating agreement templates and you just fill in those blanks as you see fit that fits yours. But the operating agreement is not necessarily needed to wholesale a deal.
All right.
Only documents that I use to send to my attorney is my EIN certificate and my LLC certificate.
All right, guys. Now, a lot of you guys are asking questions about the taxes and your LLCs. Keep in mind, as Ty would typically say, contact your CPA for that type of stuff. We're here to give you the tidbits and information on how to do the wholesale, but when it comes to that funny money and that Uncle Sam money, we don't want to tell you nothing wrong. You're not going to come back here and say, we told you nothing. So just keep that in mind, guys. It's that time of year, though. On Instagram, I'm not even going to try. Where do I start my marketing campaign? What areas should I start searching for sellers?
Find out. I like to, I'm a type of hit the bull's eye. I don't like just tossing the dart, hoping it hits the bull's eye. No, you want to vet your area. Find out what other areas that properties are flipping really quickly. Find out what areas that people are going in and they are renovating those properties. So you may want to get with a local realtor to help you determine a great area for you to purchase a property and rehab it and flip it out. But I look for areas that are hot. I look for areas that a lot of investors maybe is into, or a lot of people want to move into this area. And I look to make sure the spreads is there, make sure the ARV is there. So you just want to look for those hot pockets in your area, in your backyard, those hot pockets.
All right.
Let me add to that, please. Mm-hmm. What you can also do is you can simply go to Zillow and do a search for a particular zip code. And at the top of Zillow, which it may change it will change. You can change the criteria, like you can just go for all houses that have sold, and you uncheck everything else because it has for sale, for rent, all those. Just do recently sold, and uncheck everything but houses because it'll have townhouses, apartments, or whatever. And then you can do 90 days. You can do it. There's another field there. You can do 90 days. And you put that zip code in there, it'll tell you how many transactions have occurred within that time frame for that particular zip code. So you can just continue to do that especially if you're already familiar with your area, you can see how many transactions have occurred. So, and that'll tell you a lot how much activity is going on in a particular zip code or whatever. So, that's a really quick, inexpensive. Well, now it wouldn't cost you anything. It costs a rhythm. Sometimes they'll get tired of you calling you and making no money. But that's somewhat you can do it,
Right.
just yourself or whatever. So, or whatever.
And I like that. He's totally right. I like Zillow. There's some people always say, "Oh, Zillow is not accurate," but as a realtor, I know when you list properties and you sell properties, they all are synced with Zillow. At least here in Atlanta, Georgia, it is. So I love Zillow. I think Zillow is a great tool if you really know how to utilize it to be able to find properties for sale by owners, find properties that have sold. I really like Zillow.
It's pulling the same information from the courthouse that realtors and MLS is pulling. The only difference is on MLS, you can't see the agent notes. That's it.
Right, exactly.
Pulling the same.
And a lot of for sale by owners is on there and everything. I like Zillow. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
All right.
And there's another app called HomeSnap.
Yeah.
HomeSnap is a really great app too. Like if you out in the field, you able to snap a picture of the front of the house, and it instantly bring up all the information about that house, the tax records and everything. And then you also, it comes like you can switch over to a map, and it shows you the value of the properties around it. I like HomeSnap.
And LandGlide.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, y'all, my viewers, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Radhika is just as bad as Ty. Y'all saw it. I gotta let them finish. Because they're gonna come back. They're thinking of better answers to give y'all more information. They're leaving no stone unturned. They're giving it all to you. So I hope you guys are jotting this stuff down. Tasha Mack wants to know, how do you look for equity in an absentee list so that I don't blindly send out my letters? And she's getting this from your video, Best Places to Wholesale in.
So
she has
really understanding the local market, and it's really understanding your local market. So you know that if you're sitting out a direct mail campaign in a hot pocket area, you know that the ARV and the comps is what it is that you have researched. So it's really just knowing the area that you are marketing into. So you're not just like Ty said, is zip codes. You could search areas in hot pockets by zip codes and determine what's happening in that zip code.
Okay, so guys, just to put it out there, so they actually just said that maybe less than 5 minutes ago. But the thing is, I'm not skipping around your questions. It's just that some of your questions, the answers are kind of blended into what's already been asked. And although the question may not be verbatim, the answer was still in there. So not purposely skipping around. Your questions aren't disappearing. And there is a reason for me being here. Someone asked, what's the point of having a moderator if she ain't They always coming for me. I don't know why. What did I do?
Somebody got Gator Adrian.
Yes. Why? Don't come for me, y'all. You don't know me. So I'm not doing anything.
Y'all over the fool one day. This woman, the elevator don't go all the way up. So hey, watch it.
Wait a minute. Did you say my elevator? It goes up high enough. It'll let you off. I guarantee you that. So just keep that in mind, guys. If it's your first time, last time.
Hey, don't try to check my girl. She is very, very important to this operation. Very important. Please don't. If she quit on me, I'm not sure what I'll do. I tell you what, y'all don't want me to go back to because I have to read it first before, so you don't want us to go back to that.
That's okay. They all clearing it up. Oh, they all clearing it. I'm getting so many. I love you. I love you guys.
Yeah, I gotta love the narrator.
It's a few. It's just a few of you.
Yeah, well, they want their specific question asked. So I get that, whatever.
I get that too, but your response when I asked that question is, well, I kind of just answered that a minute ago.
Yeah, it is what
you said every single time. So I'm trying to, man, whatever. 2018, new me. Yeah. Clifton wants to know, can he use the loans to finance subject to deals and lease options?
Subject twos and lease options? Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
The money can be used, it's unsecured financing. Now, I'm not for sure if you're doing a subject to, you probably have like a down payment or something that needs to be given to the seller in order to take control of that property. And absolutely, but understand that your focus should be with the gap funding is focus on properties that you can flip is better. So as long as you have an exit strategy of flipping that property, yes. If you have a strategy of holding it, I think you should flip for the first 18 months. My focus is to understand that you really want to flip that money the first 18 months, make it, turn that line of credit into 6 figures cash, liquid cash from the profits of your flips, and then reinvest the profits if you're looking to do some type of buy and hold long-term strategy.
AKA, get your money up. Get your money up.
And I'm glad you said that, but seriously, just get your money up. Because trying to do this business, you kind of got it and kind of don't, you're going to put yourself in a financial bind. I don't do financial binds. So my focus is to help you strengthen your foundation so you can go out there and really, really take your real estate business to the next level and really begin to build generational wealth, because the end goal is buying home. The end goal is buying home. That $20,000 property that guy was just talking about, that's that end goal. You want to take that 6-figure profit, and you want to be able to purchase that $20,000, $30,000 property that you can put a tenant in it that's giving you a 20+% return. So it's a strategy. It's all about the strategy that you're trying to do with that gap funding.
Okay. Brown Girl Blue, this is the question from Instagram. And unfortunately, guys, it will more than likely be our final. It's just somebody petty come with something. What is the best day to put up bandit signs so they don't get taken up? I think we have this question every week, but it's good to know for our newbies so they don't get taken up. And also last week, somebody asked about an obituary list. She's asking, what about the divorce list? Would that be a good source to, put some feelers out on, and they either dead or they gonna be dead? Because
that's called probate. That's your probate. So when people die, their estate goes into probate. Probate is public records. You go down to your county, you can pull these probates. You call the family, you see if they want to sell. A lot of times it takes some months to do probates, because it may be multiple sisters and brothers that is involved in it. They got to get everybody information. Somebody don't want to sell mama house, somebody do. So it's a lot of finesse in the family with probates. But be honest with you, probates is great leads. But you got to understand that it's going to take time to really try to get the family to sell the properry. That's for the obituary question. What was the first question? Put out bandit signs Fridays. Friday night. Why? Because I'm not for sure if it's in every city, every county, every state, but I know here in Georgia, Monday through Friday is when the street team work. They get off at 5 o'clock. So that means at 7, 8 o'clock at night, we out in the streets putting up our bandit signs. They get back at work at 8 o'clock Monday morning, and that's when they start sweeping those signs up. So like I was telling one of the other ladies, if you really need your signs, you may want to go back Sunday night, early Monday morning to pick them up.
All right, and tagging on that, Single Mom Phenom, she's with us every week, and man, she's trying to make some things happen. I mean, she's following the videos, she's asking her questions, but she asked, is it normal to have put up bandit signs, called Fizbos, called for rent, sent out 600 plus yellow letters, and still not have found a motivated seller?
To be honest with you, it's consistency. If I told you how many years it took me and months it took me to do my first deal, it took me a long time. It took me probably about a year and a half of following my mentor for me to really, really understand how to do it and how to do it effectively. And I have heard stories that it's been 3 or 4 years. I mean, so at the end of the day, it's about consistency. Do you really want it? Do you really want it? And also, like Ty was saying earlier, you want to track it. You want to track it, figure out what's working and what's not. You putting out 600 bandit signs and no one's calling you, change the area. Find another area, find another way, figure out which one's working and which is not, and try to figure out why it's not working. Begin to track your marketing campaign.
Right, and I don't know exactly how those 600 yellow letters went out, but someone made a good point. There was like 600 yellow letters all at one time, or 100 yellow letters at 6 different times, 6 different areas. That could be,
Exactly.
something different as well. But don't stop the hustle. Don't stop getting Gator, guys. This is real. And
maybe change your list. You could have a bad list. If you're doing 600 direct mails, I mean, you probably bought a list. And change your list. But yeah.
All right, guys. I'm gonna mimic Corey. Corey says he believes in y'all. Every single last one of y'all. We're about to make a lot of money in 2018. You have the tools here. Everything you need is in one of these videos. I guarantee you guys. Ty is available. He makes himself available free of charge for you. You do realize this, guys. Free of charge. You're asking questions and getting answers to items, to things that people are paying for. Now, don't get me wrong. He does have his, his paid course that you can buy if you need to have your handheld. If this isn't working for you, and I get you on that, he's available. Flipman.com.net. Sorry. Facebook, YouTube, you have him right here. I mean, so you can get in touch with him, but everything that you need to begin is right here. Brandon, I'm not asking that. Brandy's question, does this business bring beautiful women like them in your first year, Ty? Don't answer that question.
All you can stand.
No,
I'm just kidding. Hey,
money to bring the women.
Hey, if you chase women, you'll always be broke. If you chase money, you know the rest.
I advise you just say you will see them on the side. Just pose it. Don't say nothing else. But guys, we will see you next week. We thank Radhika for joining us. Fundmynextdeal.com is how you can get in touch with her. And again, guys, I know that 680 kind of scares some of you guys away, but she also has resources available for you to get to that 680. So don't let that scare you away and make you not contact her. We will, as I've said probably 4 times now, be here next week.
All right. Can I say something? Just piggyback with that. If you don't have that 680, don't be afraid to bring an equity or a credit partner in, because it may take you 3 months to get to that 680, but you may bring a partner in and they can secure the funds for your transaction. So this is not a one-man army. I could never do this business with only one person. I have to keep a group of people around me who all out here, and we all are hungry. So understand that you can bring credit partners in who may have that 680, so you don't miss out on any great deals that you're looking to purchase.
All right, Ty, you got any closing statements?
Oh no, it was back next week if our girl can be with us, and obviously you AP. We'll be back at it again next week.
All right, guys, we'll call you. We'll send you a message to you.
Yeah, we're gonna send you something.
We'll drop your voicemail.
Hey, don't opt out with stop and all that crazy. You opted in. I'm sending you something. All right. All
right, guys. Well, that's it for today. We will see you guys next week, and we will see you guys on the flip side.